Why? Oh,
Wait.
no action yet. Wait. I always forget.
Okay.
To call this meeting to order, please join me with the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a statement. I thought we were going to say a prayer before our meeting is here.
We can.
We didn't have that yet.
Jeff, we'll let you.
Going to add that, Madam Chair? I'd be happy.
Sure. I guess.
Dear God, we thank you for this day to serve. We ask you to give us your wisdom in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
As for the signing of the journal and a motion to accept and approve the DVD recording of the previous meeting from Tuesday, March 25th, and the index.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass, thank you.
Did we do roll call? No.
Oh, we're not here yet, but could you take a roll, please?
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller?
Here.
Commissioner Webb?
I'm here.
Oh, prayer thing threw me off, I'm sorry.
We're going to have to add that to the.
Gonna have to add that on there, and I just jumped right down to the journal. Okay, are there any adjustments to the agenda? Anybody wants to get something listed that we know we need to talk about?
I was just going to give an update on the health insurance advisory meeting.
Is that new?
New or old, whichever you want.
We'll make it new.
Okay.
Okay. Fred, anything?
Nope. Nope.
Stacy or Nikki? All right. There's nothing listed under old business, so I guess we'll go to new business, and let's start with your health advisory.
They met last week, and the wellness initiative, we do that every year, give people an incentive on their health insurance if they meet certain criteria. The last couple of years, that has been funded out of some reserves that they had left over from when we were self-insured, and that's been slowly dwindling. We thought it was only going to last 1 year, but it lasted 2. So next calendar year, we'll have to think about that money coming from the general fund. If we want to continue the program, I assume we do, but we'll have to.
I think it was from 50,000.
Something in that neighborhood. Bob will give us the exact, or more closer numbers probably this fall and roll out any changes to the program, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. Nothing to act on today.
When do they meet again?
Oh,
In the
Do
fall?
quarterly.
After they, okay, it's quarterly.
Yep, quarterly.
Did, I don't want this to go in the paper, but didn't we,
So right
didn't we have an increase for the employee contribution that was over and above, I think it was 1%, I vaguely recall something, that we could put that money towards this wellness program, like whatever the rates went up last year, it went like 1% higher. That's why I don't want all the county employees killing me here. Do I,
Can
am I
you,
supposed
No,
to build there or what? I
no,
mean,
we had an increase because we knew that the potential of another increase in another year was going to happen, even though we didn't have a large.
Is that what it was?
We didn't have a large increase. We went ahead with that because versus hitting doubling that all at one time,
Next year.
2 years out, we thought we ought to have a gradual step up to keep up
Okay.
with it. And we
Okay,
did
so
that,
it
but-
wasn't for.
No.
Okay, then,
By
I
correct.
knew there was
That
something
was- yeah.
I was screwed up there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
our
Yeah.
claims last year ran really low. It was like 75% or something of premiums, so we had a really small increase. Right now, they're running about 90%, or was it low 90s%? For every dollar that we pay in premiums, it's about 9%. So it's higher, so that's the trend. We don't know what it'll be the rest of the year, but our increase next year will be based on our claims this year. We're not doing bad, but not as good as last year. We had a great year last year. So just something to think about ahead of time. We'll get the numbers probably in October or something like that.
So at least think that possibly, if we want to continue with the wellness program, what do other counties do? Do they, is it wellness program paid exclusively by
I don't
the
know that,
employer?
I don't know that they'll have one.
Yeah, I don't know.
could
We
ask
have to
that
get
at
that
the-
from Bob.
Yeah.
He probably has the,
Is it
who has it.
Yeah, I don't know who has them.
Well, if the employee had to pay it, it wouldn't be much of an incentive.
That's true.
All right. Mr. Prosecutor, we had you scheduled at 10. Would you like to go next, or would you like to follow our resolutions?
I'd prefer to go next if that's.
All right. You're on.
I sent a letter on March 19, I assume. Stacy's given you a copy of that. We have a server that was originally purchased in 2007, and when I know almost nothing about computers, but Jake, who handles our computer, he thinks 2007 would be like one of us driving to California in a 1928 Oldsmobile. He said it's really old, and he's concerned that it's going to fail. We've had problems already where we've had what he calls hiccups, where we have to restart the system, and everybody stands in our office,
Hold his breath and hold
yeah,
hands.
holding breath, because he said if it doesn't, then we're in trouble. We've had to change our backup system that we had originally. I wasn't there in 07, but that was originally installed in 07. Quit working, so we had to go to the cloud for the backup, because the hardware's actually failed for the backup system. As you can see from the letter, we got quote for a new system. This is essential for what we do. I mean, 1975, the most important thing a assistant prosecutor needed was a legal pad and a pen and a copy of the revised code. 2014, we need computers, and that's what we have. We have used money from FOJ. The other problem we had with our computers, we were using Windows XP, which if you follow the technical stuff, Windows XP is no longer being serviced by Microsoft as of April 1 or
Real quick here.
real quick.
Real quick.
We replaced 5 computers in December using money from FOJ and money from our real estate fund. And we got another 6 that we're going to replace this year using those same
Appreciate
funds.
that.
Okay.
So it's not like we're not doing some of this, but the almost $10,000 for the server and the equipment really puts us. I mean, if we did that, then we'd be in a big hole. And as Ms. Wilson can tell you, when you look at our budget, there's no line for. There's a line for this, but they all have zeros. So
That's a problem.
yeah, we're here asking for this funding, and I'll try. If you have technical questions, Jake's your man. If you have questions about how the office operates and how essential this is, I'm your man. So
I don't know much, I know less about computers than you do, but I heard the online server, did Julie go to an online server at her office? Who told me that?
She's the real estate gone to web-based.
Web-based, web-based, that's what I meant to say.
Um,
Is that an option?
One of your servers, I'm assuming Jake is doing that, the terminal server
Uh,
is not gonna be replaced, but the domain server is what you need, right?
yes, yeah, and I don't know what I think the terminal server was a separate system that they use for the input of criminal convictions and
Yeah.
which we no longer. It's duplicative.
Yeah.
So we no
Okay,
longer need to do
okay.
that. So we're not doing that anymore. I'm not sure the difference between what we're asking for and what Julie's doing. I just know Jake said this is what we need, and we have a certain level of secrecy in what we do. Obviously, we're using the cloud for storage. Jake believes in the cloud for the storage. He said that was 5 years ago, but now he says everybody's doing it. So.
I know that Mike Dell, matter of fact, I had a meeting with him this morning, and his hardware software is provided by an outside agency that he just pays like a fee based on how much in his case it's per document or so forth, but it takes care of all the hardware and all the software. Is that something that the Prosecutors Association, I know the Recorders Association, they've got these systems available. Is there anything through the Prosecutors Association where they have a system where you can contract with them where they update all your software and all your hardware, and they keep you neat and clean and updated, and for just one low monthly fee. It sounds like an advertisement.
There's nothing of that I'm aware of. I think the recorders, it's important for them because I don't know the percentage, but I'm thinking half the recorders in the state are on the same system, and their documents are then accessible via the internet. So you can sit down anywhere in the world and type in, a name and on the internet and pull up real estate transactions to see who bought and who sold. So if you're doing a title search in Finley, you can have a significant part of your work done before you even show up in Tiffin to look at a document. And I think that's where they
You guys, there's
No.
not an association that you can?
we have an association, but there's nothing that where people go together and have some type of computer system. There's
The nature of the information is so drastically different.
and there's a lot of when you go to a prosecutor meeting, we have their salesmen there trying to get you to set up a system where all your documents are incorporated, and it's Cleveland now has that. Cuyahoga County, they do all their discovery via the web. So when you go to court, your attorney is assigned to you. The prosecutor gives some type of code to the defense attorney. They get all the police reports off the web. That's way more than we do. We just give disc. We put them on. We put them on a DVD, and we assign counsel. We give them. There's 3 pieces of paper. They have a list of the witnesses, and then we give them a DVD that has all the police reports, all the photographs, all the interviews. Everything is on DVD. We've gotten away. We use so much less paper than we used in 2008. I mean, it's just incredible. We scan everything. When we close a file, paper accumulates. Police send us paper all the time. We get reports. When we close a file, we literally scan everything onto a disk. And if there's a closed file from 2011, State versus John Doe, if you said I want a copy of that file, it's really easy now because we find it and it's all on a disk. And what we would do is we'd have to go through and we would, because some of it we can't give because it's it's got confidential background stuff on it, but we can give you the whole copy minus what you can't have in a matter of minutes. And instead of having files that are like this, we have files that are like this, which takes up a lot less room in our basement. Last year we hired a Denison student, contracted with him. We didn't hire him, contracted with him. He came in and scanned files at night. So we had some of our old murder cases where you'd have these boxes, and now they're on some of those are on multiple discs. But instead of having a box, State versus whoever from some homicide in 1986, it's disc. So we tried to, because if you've been in our basement, eventually we're going to run out of space. We're mandated to keep a copy of everything. We can't get rid of a criminal file ever. So
the disc doesn't count?
Yeah, it
Keep
counts.
a hard copy? or-
no, we keep the disc.
Okay.
Yeah,
disc.
they don't define what a copy is.
Okay.
So we have it on PDF, and I'm fairly comfortable that PDF images are going to be readable for a long time, and that even if somebody comes up with a new system, somebody will be able to pop a DVD or a disc in and read that PDF, and it saves considerable amount of space, and because at some point we're going to run out. We're kind of lucky, unlucky. We don't have anything prior. I forget the criminal. I think it's like 62. We don't have anything before 62. We don't know where it's at. But if we had it, we'd have to keep it. So we don't have it, so we don't have to keep it. So we're
Yeah.
it's kind of a it's good news, bad news.
Yeah.
If there's a case from 1948 that interests somebody and they want to see that file, sorry. The
Yeah.
good news is we don't have to keep track of it and
Yeah.
find it. So.
Yeah.
Well, this probably falls in the category of something you have to do, and we.
10,000?
I don't know if it was, in my numbers, yeah, 10,000. $9,241.25 for Microman, and then $399.79 for a UPS.
Do you have a resolution?
I do.
Okay, can we just do that with the regular?
Yep,
warrant?
yep.
I mean, if you've investigated all other options, then
Yes.
it's what it is.
Yeah, well, and my investigation is Jake.
What's the best
Well,
option?
and Jake, to be honest, Jake comes in to us and he's like, you know, 07, I mean, and he talks to me like I should understand this. I'm like,
You just pretend you do, right?
I'm driving a 06 truck. And if you said we're going to California, you know, I get the oil changed and I get it filled up with gas and I might have somebody check it out, you know, make sure the tires are okay. But, you know, we can drive my truck to California. But, you know, an 07 server, I mean, he's like, you know, every day is a little bit on edge. And we haven't had one in a while. But, you know, where we've had, kind of go black and Sharon has to, she calls it burping the system or something. She has to go in and turn it on and turn, but yeah, it's more than just hitting the on off button and this little process and there's kind of like this, yeah. Anybody else have anything else?
You'll be there next Saturday. EMS.
I will be there for my free coffee and donuts.
All right.
Good.
Yes. Good.
And
Anything
you're
else?
playing basketball tonight?
I am not playing basketball tonight. No. I might try to get out there and watch you play basketball.
Oh, Mr. Zoller's playing.
No. I said I would be a coach. Yeah. You're not gonna see my bat out there on the floor.
I've seen these games, and they really don't need a whole lot of coaching. They need players.
The mayor, in his physical fit that he is, he said it about wore him out last year. You'd be, you know, I want Ken Majors out there with the EMS.
On the sidelines.
Thank you.
Thank
Going
you.
back to work.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dick.
Thank you, Derek.
All right, let's proceed with the resolutions.
Okay. I have an appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving 10,000 from supplies to contract services. It's at the request of the Board of Elections. Says due to the shift of grant to county-funded mandates is what she's got. She's moving it within. I have a supplement to the permanent appropriations for the Seneca County Sewer District, 139, putting $30,362.96 into contract services, and another $6,000 into our other contract services line, for a total appropriated $36,362.96. I have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive sealed bids for asphalt projects located at 111 Madison Street and 71 South Washington Street. This will be accepted until 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, April 29th at the office of Seneca County Commissioner's Office. That is our off-site evening meeting. We're still gonna require that all bids be in before 10:30, and we will open them at the off-site meeting. So we're still gonna leave it at the daytime when we always open all of our other ones.
Right.
We just require them to have it in by 10:30, but we can open it that night at our meeting.
So what do we, blacktop in this parking lot out here?
Yeah, we're gonna bid on that project, and then 71 Washington was the one CSB that was too high last year that we needed to rebid. So we're getting, the bids are gonna be separate, but that was on our next slate for the recycled money for a project.
This we can use recycled money.
Yes, yep, the
Okay, so
asphalt
we're not
projects.
general fund money.
Nope, nope,
Now, in talking to Tanya, that'd be these kind of two lots out here, the maintenance lot.
yep,
And the whole way around the CSB, so we're talking a lot of asphalt.
Yep.
And it's a complete grind out, the way it sounds. She was talking like 200,000 estimate to do the whole thing, which,
So are they gonna grind it out and this we could take through the OSS recyclable money?
right, it will lower your certificate some because of the way some of it flows. Some of it's already been appropriated into the, I think it'll lower a certificate some.
yeah. Looks like the engineer's estimate for the 171 South Washington Street is $94,153. And the engineer's estimate on our lots are $68,258.
So
These are
150 plus.
These will go with the bid, so it's not, it's public record, so that's what the engineer's estimates are for those two.
That pretty well shoots our
Yeah.
what we have in recyclable money.
Yeah, let me ask you, one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it?
No, it'll carry
No.
over.
It'll carry
No.
over. They have said they would like us to use it, or they may reduce it. I don't know. They've never done that, but they mentioned it a few years ago because they were saving it for the annex building, the furniture inside. So they were accumulating a couple of years till they got the annex building done, and they were kind of, what are you're sitting on all this, but they had a specific reason they were using it.
And remember, they is us. It's
Oh, yeah.
the 9 commissioners
Yep.
from the 3 counties.
Yeah. But they haven't dropped it on, they've never lowered it on us, but that comment was made at one time.
Now, some of that is already in our carryover, right, or in our unappropriated balance. So
Yes.
we'll lower the unappropriated balance by
Yeah, we get,
some figure.
yeah,
Okay.
But it's something that, again, it's keeping up your buildings. If you don't, parking lot, they're just like a
Yeah.
building. If you
Yeah.
don't fix them, they're gonna pretty soon be junk.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I have, resolution authorizing the 2014 sewer rates for the New Regal Sewer District. This is the increase, the amendment for it, he has down, sewer district manager to authorize the 2014 sewer rates for the New Regal Sewer District at $264 per EDU per quarter.
That's what it's going to be,
Yes.
and that's an increase of
He doesn't have the other one on there.
So it jumped up from basically 60 to 80, 85, something like
Yeah.
that,
Because that was the amount per month, right?
per month.
per EDU.
Yeah.
And they reassess the E EDUs.
And then I have the one for the prosecutor's office, supplement to the permit appropriations for the general fund, putting $9,641.04 into the prosecutor's equipment line.
Something I think that just needs to be noted on the sewer rate is that the mayor and I spoke about this the other day, Larry Bullion, is the city of Fostoria actually lowered, they could charge 150% of what they charge the in-town people in Fostoria, and they can charge up to by ORC, and they elected only to charge 125%. So it's 25% supplement versus what they could have charged is 50%. So they're actually, the city of Fostoria is giving New Rigo a little break here. But I thought that was generous of them because they've got a major issue that they've got to overcome in the coming years. And I'm hopeful that this committee that Holly's said she would set on, that we can come up with some creative ideas, not only to help New Rigo, but maybe to help Fostoria out here too.
If she doesn't, we'll pull her from the committee.
And they're working on
You're on
something,
it, lady.
right?
Yes, I sent him all the phone numbers for Mark, Jill, and Larry to set up a meeting, and I just told him to let us know. They can figure out a date, and we will
Okay.
make sure we get somebody there.
Yep, okay. All right. Guess that's all our resolutions?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Do we have
I move we approve.
Seconded.
a motion and a second to approve the resolutions? Any comments, concerns, questions? No, okay. Roll call.
Commissioner Reichner?
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller?
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes. Approved, thank you. For the general public, citizens, comments, questions?
Easy peasy today, huh? They tell me spring is around the corner. They tell me.
They say, that's what they say.
We're
Motion
going out
to
to see Cindy then.
Oh, yeah,
At the OSU.
yes, we're gonna take that.
That's at what time, 11:30?
Right.
Whatever, is she expecting us?
Does she know we're
Well,
coming?
it's early enough, she's probably gonna be okay. I just think they close at a lunchtime, and I don't know if that's 11:30, 12, 12:30, but we're early enough, we should be all right. It's not quite 10:30, so.
Oh, I know something. I'm sorry.
No, we haven't voted on the adjournment yet.
If any of the commissioners would like to join me today, Lenny Klaus and a structural engineer will be here at the RTA building at 3. in talking with Lenny the other day, we've got the structural engineer that's gonna be down here, so if there's any other county buildings that we may, since we got the expert down here, at no cost to any of us here, if there's anything else that somebody has in mind that, well, we got him here, we may be able to tap into some resources there, so if anyone would like to join me, it's gonna be at the RTA building, 3 o'clock, we'll meet down in regional planning. Structural engineer's gonna assess the situation and see where we are, and again, if somebody else got any suggestions of any other buildings we'd like to take a cursory look at. I suggested the elevator, because I'm tired of, we just get nickel dime to death in the CSB building, but
CSB, yeah.
Lenny said that's somebody completely different, that's not a structural engineer, that's a
Mechanic.
Yeah.
whatever.
And we're still putting the elevator onto the CDBG, right?
Right,
Okay.
right, you're gonna get an estimate or something, and we're gonna put that on our block grant, so if that fits into our priorities, we could block grant and fix that thing.
We just nickel dime to death
Yeah, oh,
on that
yeah,
darn thing,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
constant that thing's
Yeah.
breaking down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good. And then Klausi's gonna come back to the board at some point after that and say, here's what needs to be done.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah, they'll make, between the two of them, they'll make a recommendation, and kind of the outline, as we see it, is what Lenny mentioned, he said that he cannot give us a cost right now. Apparently, there's 11 pillars or 11 whatever that are in the RTA building. He would suggest to do one of them, whatever the most severe one is, on the time and materials. So this is where I mentioned, we're gonna have to take a leap of faith here. And then after he does one, then he can better assess what the cost will be for the other ones and based on the severity. But first, we had to get a structural engineer in to kind of look at it and see what we got. And then through the process, we can look at the water infiltration. And then I suggested that temporarily we don't proceed with cleaning the building until we get these other things. I know Larry Breidenball's called me a couple times of what's going on. I said, Larry, right now, I think my suggestion, we just hold off on that. I was over there today, the building looks terrible. I mean, we need to clean it up, it just looks ratty, I think, but I think we need to do the other first here, or at least, and again, I have no idea what kind of work this is gonna entail. It's way, way over my head.
We'll wait to hear from him and go from there.
So, if anybody would like to join into the meeting today, and
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Yep.
second.
Was it a motion? That was a yes
yeah,
and a
that was,
second. Okay.
yeah. Are we taped or videoed here someplace?
Yep.
Yeah.
We sure
Well,
are.
then, okay,
Wave.
yeah. I make a motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
We stand adjourned, thank you.